Happy Friday night, everybody. How is everyone doing? Bill, thank you so much for sending everyone over. Already got 33 here. Welcome in. It is Buffalo Trace Distillery night. Yes. I decided to break out all the Buffalo Trace. Well, this isn't all that I have, but this is at least one or two of each expression. So I figured, it's a good night. It's a good night for it, and a good night to talk about Buffalo Trace, because they got a lot of stuff. Let's see who's all here. A lot of people here already. Dan, how you doing? Chad Wallace, Craig F, Eli, good to see you. Charles Ashworth, DJ Beacon, She Flung Dung, best name on YouTube. Welcome in. DH Silv, Dustin, how you doing? We got William Devilar, Andrew Spurrell, welcome in. Buddy, your glass has been shipped out. Man, I didn't know it'd be such a process going to Canada. It's my first time shipping to Canada, so. But it should be on its way, so hopefully you enjoy it. Spencer Matt, welcome in. Matt Bailey, Matt from Whiskey Crusaders, Steve A, Ryan Parker, good to see you all. Bill, I see you in there too, welcome in. Michael Hassett, Whiskey Music, and Guy Davis, good to see everyone. Also got Jack of All Blades, Jimmy Daniels. Thank you guys all so much for being here. It's going to be a good night. So I already have most of these poured. I'll accept the E.H. Taylor small batch, which I don't have an open bottle at the moment, so I'm going to be doing an uncorking of that. See how it is with first pour out of the bottle. It's been a while since I had one of those, with this bottle at least. Yeah, Bill, it really does. Filling out those forms. I was in line at the post office, which sucks to begin with. And you get up there and like, no, you need to fill out this form. I'm like, okay. So I go fill it out, and then there's 3 more people in line, so I got to get back in the line. And then I bring it back up, and they're like, no, you didn't do this right. You need to do this or that. Or we gave you the wrong form to begin with, she says. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So next time I'm just going to take a stack of those forms and just bring them home, make sure they're all filled out already. So, man, the post office, I'll tell you. But thank you all for being here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. What is everybody drinking? Tell me it's going to be something Buffalo Trace. If you're a bourbon guy at least, or a bourbon girl, tell me it's something Buffalo Trace. I am going to start with Benchmark 8. So I figure we'll work our way up lowest proof to higher, lowest price as well to higher price. So Benchmark 8, locally for me, is right around like $12. I'll hold it up here for you. And honestly, for 12 bucks, it's really, really solid. It smells very sweet. Very sweet. Bill says he's drinking water. Matt. Matt says, I'll drink what I want to. That's fair. That's fair. Blend the Buffalo, Dustin says. You mean blend all of them? Blend all of the Buffalo Traces that I have? That'd be a hefty pour. I've got probably 5 or 6 of them. $15.99 for a 175 of the Benchmark. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Texas, man. Brian was right. Brian was the one who initially recommended I get Benchmark. He said, it's good. It's good. And at that price, man, you weren't lying. Proof? I'm trying to remember. It's 80, right? Yeah, 80 proof on it. But it's so sweet. Lynx Cat, welcome in. T Green, good to see you. Also see James and Kenneth Kennedy. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, it's got a nice layer of sweetness on it. I mean, 0 burn, which you'd expect, I guess. Steve A says he'll be 1 notch ahead of me most of the stream. Yeah, you started a little earlier than me too, though. I figured I had a big night ahead of me, so I shouldn't really drink beforehand. So, ooh, Matt Bailey said he saw the Ancient Age 90 for $17.99 for 175. I just had someone on Facebook comment, where's the Ancient Age? And I said, I just finished my bottle not too long ago. So that's my problem now too, is like I want to save certain types of bottles so I have like a group like this to do together. So if I'm getting low on a bottle, like it's that I'm torn whether I should finish the bottle or I can always just replace it, I guess, especially Ancient Age. Oh, Steve A, he started with Buffalo Trace. I got you. Yep. I mean, Benchmark's, it's really solid. It's really solid. But, I mean, it's nothing too special. 80 proof. Whiskey Music asks, where's the old charter? I think I actually do have an old charter 8. I'll have to look for it. I'll have to see if I have one. Matt says his brother buys Benchmark by the case and ages it in mini. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, I don't know if anyone follows my Instagram. My brother just picked me up a bottle from Three Floyds Distilling, which is actually a brewery first, and they now opened a distillery, but it's pretty much white whiskey. I'm looking for more info on the bottle, but I'm pretty sure it's new make. The proof is right around 51 or 51%, so 102 proof. And someone recommended I just get a mini barrel and try aging it in there. I mean, I'll try it first, but aging it in a mini barrel, that sounds really interesting. That'd be really fun to do. Steve A says his order is going to be Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton, Stagg Jr., batch 11, 5, then 3. Okay. You better have small pours for the end of the night there, buddy. That could be quite the night. Chad Wallace asks, which is better, Ancient Age or Benchmark? To me personally, I prefer Benchmark. A lot of people will disagree with me, though, because there's a lot of Ancient Age fans out there, probably in chat here right now. So, but I personally prefer the Benchmark, at least so far. So far in this bottle. Maybe it'll get bad once I drink the bottle down a little bit. Yeah, the Lynx Cat. Three Floyds does make excellent beer. They're a fantastic brewery. Yeah, Jack of all blades. I do not have a Wheatley vodka. I did try it when I was at Buffalo Trace at the distillery, but that was enough for me. It was okay. It's just, Vito, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Benchmark is really solid, but yeah, a lot of people, but same thing, by Ancient Age, by the case, like Matt was saying. So, and the price for both is great. Now, the difference, of course, is Mash Bill 1 versus Mash Bill 2. I'll pull this up so you guys can see. Mash Bill 1, there's a whole bunch of different, different products in Mash Bill 1. Mash Bill 2 has some good names too, though, like Rock Hill Farms, Elmer T. Lee, and of course, Blanton's. Now, Mash Bill 2 is actually higher rye, so we're looking at like 12 to 15% rye, whereas Mash Bill 1 is 10% or less. I mean, Buffalo Trace doesn't disclose any of this. It's just kind of speculation in inner circles of hearing information like that, but so very interesting. And maybe it's a Mash Bill 2 versus Mash Bill 1, why I like the Benchmark more, than the Ancient Age. But they're both good. I mean, I don't have a problem with either one, especially for the price. Good old Benchmark. $12. All right, so we will move on to Buffalo Trace. Bill, good for you. You just sold 10 coins. Hey, you mentioned it on stream. That's what happens. Good for you, buddy. Excellent. Just got to get me on that same train. If anybody wants a challenge coin, I've still got many numbers available. Bourbinsane@gmail.com is my PayPal. They're $10 a coin, $3.50 shipping. So if you put it in there, I'll message you and we'll get everything taken care of. Let me know what number you want. Ooh, wow. Yeah, the Buffalo Trace is just amplified. It's like an amplified Benchmark, really. Yeah, I really like the coins, Bill. I think they turned out really nice. They do great work, that company, and thank you for the recommendation, by the way, on them. Bill was the one who directed me towards them, and it was a great choice. So, yeah, Dan did get number 2, and number 1 I kept for myself as the first coin. So, Dan got it. No, I got Bill. I only got 100. 200 was too many. I don't think I'd be able to sell that many. Matt Whiskey Crusader says yes. Benchmark's just 4-year Buffalo Trace, right? And Buffalo Trace is virtually double that. 8 years they say for Buffalo Trace, and it is same mash bill. Mash Bill 1, so that makes sense. And you definitely do get a lot more of those oak notes. Jack of all blades, yes. So this is actually a Buffalo Trace single barrel select that I have. I don't have any regular Buffalo Trace. Of course, I've had it before, but right now I have 5 or 6 Buffalo Trace store picks. If you check my live stream list, I actually did a Buffalo Trace store pick night, and I tried all 5 or 6 side by side and picked my favorite. That was a fun night. That was really fun. That was a lot of Buffalo Trace, but it was amazing because all of them were different, and anyone who's had Buffalo Trace store picks knows there are a difference between the store picks. You really can pick out the differences, so it's pretty cool. It's just much more rich than the benchmark. That's the proof too, though. This is up to, what, 90 proof on this one, so the proof helps with that. A note I've been picking out more in Buffalo Trace as a distillery in general is kind of a... I can't remember, someone pointed this note out to me, and since then it's like, oh, yep, that's the note, but kind of like a cherry cola note. Because I described it as cherry before, but it wasn't... I couldn't pick out exactly what else was with that cherry, but it's kind of like a cherry cola note. That's kind of how I describe it. And Buffalo Trace store picks now, I see you guys talking about store picks now in the chat. They are like an instant buy for me because you can't go wrong. I mean, even if you get a bottle you don't like that much, it's $30, $32, and worst comes to worst, you can always mix it if you need to, and it'd make a really good mixer. It does make a really good mixer. So. I've been talking to Guy Davis a little bit, and he's in chat here. He's been saying he wants to pick up a Buffalo Trace, and I don't think he's tried anything from Buffalo Trace really. I'm trying to remember what we talked about, but there's a lot of good Buffalo Trace products in general. I mean, not just the Buffalo Trace, but the Eagle Rare. I mean, so many of them. So many good Buffalo Trace products. They're just a great distillery overall. Richie Z, welcome in. Good to see you. So solid. It's got nice sweetness, nice oak. Still rich bourbon flavors you want. It's really good. DJ Beacon said store picks are $22 to $25 there. Wow. No, it's a little more than that here. Good prices though. How about that? It's a good point, Dustin. He wishes more hard to get store picks were in 375s. Yeah, I mean the Blantons. The Blantons. There were a couple Buffalo Traces from Smittys that had 375s, I think, but like you said, not that many. Not that many at all. So let me ask you guys this: what is all your favorite Buffalo Trace product? How about things that are attainable? Even somewhat attainable. We'll say Blanton's, Stagg Jr., Elmer Tree Lee, Rock Hill Farms. We'll say those are attainable, but let's not say George T. Stagg or the Antique Collection. So good. Dan says Rock Hill Farms. Unattainable. I shouldn't have said that. It's unattainable. I've never seen a Rock Hill Farms one time. Not even one time. Stagg Jr., yes. Elmer T. Lee, no. I've missed out on it 3 times when I was in line. I was one person away from getting it 3 times for Elmer T. Lee. So hurtful. So hurtful. Matt says the 107, another one that's not attainable. You have to really know someone to get a bottle. If stores get it, it's like 1 or 2 bottles. That's it. It's bad. Andrew, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Andrew said Blanton's Gold is readily available here, so I'll go with that. Get out of here. Matt, I have had just a pour of Rock Hill Farms when I was down in Kentucky, but it was in a rocks glass, and it was after a long day of tours. So I honestly, like the pour I had, I was not that impressed with, but it could have just been, you know, the end of the day. So I'd be interested to try it like in a Glencairn when I can actually sit down and focus on it a little bit to see how it is. Steve A says he had a sample bottle of Rock Hill Farms from a tasting party last weekend. Nice, very nice. Yeah, people go crazy for the Rock Hill Farms. It's just unattainable. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. I can't wait for that Texas box. Matt's such a good guy. He is going to be hooking me up with some Texas whiskey so I can do. Him and I are planning a live stream together where we want to do a Texas whiskey night. Because I've had only like one Texas whiskey now at this point, and that would be really, really fun, and I'd love to do that. Just it opened me up to a whole new flavor profile for bourbon. This Texas with the heat and everything is completely different. Richie Z said, liking the Weller 107, tried it for the first time, bottle's half empty. Yeah, that's easy to do. And this is the liter bottle here, but fortunately, when I first got into bourbon, you know, Weller was like, you have to get Weller, you got to get Weller. So I secondary got Weller, but, you know. Vito, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. So solid. 8 years, and you get $25 for even a normal Buffalo Trace. Store picks up to, like I said, 30 here. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. All right, number 3, working our way up. Going to a fan favorite, and one of my favorites as well. Eagle Rare. All right, let's talk Eagle Rare. Scott, welcome in. My Bourbon Journey. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming in. We're doing Buffalo Trace night, and it's fun so far. Let's go into Eagle Rare though. So Eagle Rare is a bottle that used to be all single barrel, and a lot of you probably know this already, but there's no longer the single barrel statement on the bottle. It used to be on the front, I think, and then on the back. Now it's not. They do still have the 10-year age statement on the back though, which is very nice. Another bottle that's very affordable, but starting to get less attainable in certain parts of the country. So here I can find it everywhere, luckily. Usually that's not the case. See you later, Bill. Have fun. Nice stream tonight. For me, this is like $31, $32. I mean, really, $31, $32 for 10 years. Now it's no longer single barrel, but the reason it's no longer single barrel is because they don't clean their lines in between dumping the barrels. So they technically have to say it's small batch. Also, when we were at Buffalo Trace, they also said virtually like 90 to 95% of them are still single barrel. What they said was the reason was they wanted to give themselves more variety and more options in case they did want to blend barrels. So that's why they took it off, but I don't know. The cleaning the lines thing makes more sense to me at least. So, but again, still great specs on this. This is 90 proof. And this, even compared to Buffalo Trace, is just a complete another depth of richness, I think. And virtually the same price. You know, the standard bottles are virtually the 31 versus 25, so $5 difference. The difference with Eagle Rare, though, is they actually age Eagle Rare on like the lower levels of the rickhouse. So it doesn't pick up the age as quickly as something that would, you know, on the higher levels of the rickhouse. So theoretically, it may not get as much of those oak notes. And this bottle, I mean, it's got some oak, but it's not like you think of like a standard 10-year-old bourbon. Definitely a big cherry note. I see Matt Bailey just put that in there. Cherry note, yeah. Again, that cherry cola, almost like a cherry cola note to me. Yeah, the 175 at Eagle Rare is $50 when they come in, Matt says. Ludicrous. And by the way, I saw that bottle at the store the other day. That thing was bigger than like my torso. That bottle was insane. Huge. Just huge. Jack of all blades asked, see many Eagle Rare single barrel selects? No, I haven't seen one. Never. So I think that's, I don't know if that's just regional, how they do those, or if they're harder to get than Buffalo Trace store picks for these stores. But I have not seen even a single one at any stores around me. It really is. It's the tallest bottle on the planet. It really is. $26.99 in Texas. Man, Texas, man. I got to move to Texas. I really do. There's a lot going on in Texas. So easy. So easy to drink. So smooth. No youthful alcohol burn at all. And even with some big name, bourbons and big name distilleries, you'll get that alcohol burn, but there's just nothing. It's just so smooth. Oh, Scott, My Bourbon Journey says they stopped store pick Eagle Rares for 2018. Really? I did not hear that. It wouldn't surprise me with the allocation on the regular Eagle Rare as it is. I heard that about Knob Creek, but not about Eagle Rare. I forget who, someone I was talking to was saying it was just some stores around them charged $60 for an Eagle Rare. Like, that's double the price is what it is here. It's just crazy. But it's a really good bourbon. I mean, to me, this is it could be a $40 bourbon. No more than that for sure, but it's got everything you want in a bourbon. Jimmy Daniel says Smittys is getting an Eagle Rare store pick this summer. Really? Really? I did not know that. Wow. I mean, if someone around here was going to get it, it'd probably be them. They probably do the most business and do the most picks with Buffalo Trace, at least locally. Yeah, Jason, it is a $40 bourbon here. Yeah, exactly. It depends on where you are. And I would pay that. 40. I'd rather not. I'd rather pay 30 or $26.99. But it's very good. Very good. Smitty's Specialty Beverage is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They get really nice bottles and a lot of gems. Oops. It's one of those like staples of Grand Rapids. It's been around for a very long time, and I'd say they're definitely a whiskey focused store, which is very nice. But we're gonna hold off. We'll hold off on the we'll hold off on the E.H. Taylor. What I'll do is I'll pop it right now and I'll pour it, let it open up a little bit, and then we'll move on to the Blanton since that's still 93 proof. All right, E.H. Taylor. Small batch. I, again, have never seen the single barrel anything besides the small batch. And even the small batch is very hard to get here. You have to know when they're coming in, or talk to a store owner or whatever it may be. So it's still difficult. Oh, goodness. Very nice looking bottle though, and of course it comes with the tube. I've got the tubes back there, which is very nice presentation. This does have the tax strip. I mean, it is bottled in bond, so it's got to have that. Do the cork pop in front of the mic here. Oh yeah, that's the cork pop you like to hear. All right. So we'll let that open up a little bit and we'll move on to Blantons. I don't know if I've ever had anything beside the small batch. Yeah, so Richie, all of the E.H. Taylor products are actually bottled in bond. But there's, single barrel proof, whole seasoned wood. I mean, there's a whole bunch of really rare expressions too. So put that back. All right, next up is Blanton's. And again, this is actually the one I reviewed a couple weeks ago on my channel. This is also from Smittys. So you can tell I frequent that store quite often. But this is another store pick. Come on, camera. There you go. Probably the best marketed bottle in the entire world, honestly. Like, honestly. When it comes to whiskey, at least. They've got all the specs right on the bottle, the date it was dumped, which I'm a sucker. I did it. I bought my my son's date of birth bottle. But that'll be really cool come 20 more years. So, but you know, it shows you the date right on the bottle. You could do it with a McKenna or something too, but McKenna, you know. Hey Jason, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Jason, this is actually the Blantons that we drank together during Jason's live stream. And during that live stream, it was very heavily rye. I mean, just so rye forward. Again, Blanton's is mash bill too, but you're still only looking at 12 to 15%. I mean, 12 to 15% rye, that's still not much compared to some other whiskeys out there, you know? Matt. Yeah. It's not my my complete hole-in-the-wall store that I go to, though, so I still got a couple other gems out there. Dan Trout, good to see you. Barrel Slime, welcome in. Thank you guys for coming. Blanton's in general is... I'm always torn on Blanton's. Again, allocated bottle. Difficult, I mean, difficult to get in general. I can usually get a bottle if I want it. It's just... I don't know. $60 is state minimum here. So Michigan, we have state minimum pricing. So a lot of other states, they can discount their liquor. They can clearance their liquor, which is awesome. I see pictures on Facebook and Instagram all the time with people doing that, and I get a little jealous. But they can't do that here. They have to stay at or above state minimum. So they can go above as far as they want, but as far as going below, they really can't. I've probably drank 3 or 4 bottles of Blanton's, and all but one was good. I mean, it was good. On average, Blanton's is about 6 years. So 6 years. But with Blanton's, I always seem to pick up more of a wood note than normal. Maybe it's the way it ages in Rickhouse H, or whichever one. It ages in H, yeah. That's the Blanton's warehouse. But I always do get a wood. The rye on this, though, is much more subtle than previously. Which is kind of the same as my review. I mean, that review I had still filmed a while back, so it's been a while, even between pours of this. Same thing though. On the palate, it's still pretty drying. Which is okay. I personally, I'm not a huge fan of the that rye peppery where it completely dries out your mouth. I mean, it doesn't do it that much. You still get the sweetness up front, but on the back of the palate, you definitely get the drying. So it's good. It's good. But I feel like, especially a store pick, you could have gone either way. It depends on who's picking the barrel and who's doing the tasting. So if you have someone who's more sweetness forward, and that's more their flavor profile they like, they would have picked a barrel that was a lot more sweet overall. Whereas this, I think, is more rye forward overall, at least on the palate. Blanton's asked. This is only drink 4, and these are tiny pours tonight. Jason Lewis asked, wonder if Blanton's would make a good Manhattan. Good question. Sounds like a live stream idea. Cocktail night. But, I mean, you can do it. It's just, it's a $60 bourbon, but if you don't like it, you know. Oh, Scott, no problem. I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know that I've ever made a cocktail with Blantons. Not that I'm against doing it or anything like that, but I just don't think it's been done yet. Maybe we'll have to do a Blanton's cocktail night. That could be fun. Could be fun. Especially this one that's high rye, but it's still sweet on the nose. It smells really nice. It smells really nice. I definitely like the nose a lot more than the palate. Dustin, you're right, but your interpretation of whiskey buying is different than probably the majority of people. We've talked, so I know. I know. And I'm with you, bud. I'm with you, but me personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but someone did an episode idea of that, though. Like, does a really expensive bourbon really make too much of a difference in cocktails? I can't remember who did it. It may have been It's Bourbon Night. Like, was it worth the difference in money? And I'm guessing not, depending on what you mix it with. Something like an old fashioned, to me really does need a good whiskey in it, because when I make it, at least I want to taste the whiskey in it. So I make sure I make it where I either pour heavy or I use less of the other ingredients so that I can actually make sure I'm tasting the whiskey. So Patrick Fulmer says he's drinking Knob Creek. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Matt says he made a ton of old fashions with Blantons and it was great. Okay, good. Dustin, a friend's mom absolutely couldn't believe how good Pappy 23 was in Coke. Such is life. Oh, she's just trolling. She's just trolling. Yes, Old Granddad 114 is the ultimate cocktail bourbon, I think. Just the proof alone, being high rye, that's just the perfect cocktail bourbon. It really is. Andy says it was a Whiskey Tribe. Okay, yep. I think I saw it on YouTube somewhere, so I can't remember, but you're probably right. Blanton's is good, guys. It's all distribution, though. If you can get a bottle, I say pick up a bottle. But don't beat yourself up if you can't pick up a bottle either. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other great bottles. Again, a $60 bourbon. You all know what my favorite $60 bourbon is. The gold standard $60 bourbon. I probably don't even need to say it, but it's so good. And I just got a new bottle. Thanks to my wife. All right, let's move on. Oh, no, I don't want to do this yet. Let's do the E.H. Taylor. First pour of the E.H. Taylor small batch. Whew. So that first nose had a very alcohol forward. I should have probably took the challenge coin off. That's better. Yep. Steve A. Chad Wallace, it's 1920. You're correct. Old Forester 1920 is the best $60 bourbon out there, period. No question. So E.H. Taylor, I always get a very, very nice sweetness. I mean, like green apple, peach, pear, light fruit sweetness. Dustin, I have a Boone County 12 that I have not opened yet, so I might say that. I could say that if after I open it and try it. We'll see. This, at least the first pour out of this bottle, has more oak than I'm remembering with my last bottle. So the last bottle I got just that very bright sweetness kind of all the way through the whole bottle, really. Not much oak was was present. Matt Bailey, I forgot about Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I forgot about that. That is a $60 bottle, isn't it? So state minimum, I think, for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is, I think it is 60 actually. But a lot of people cannot get it for 60 either. Whereas 1920, pretty much everyone can get it for that $60 price. But yes, that would be a good side-by-side. Just the proof, yeah, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is better. You're right. I stand corrected. But that would be a fun side-by-side, or doing that blind, setting that up. I would hope I'd be able to pick out the difference between those two, though. They're quite different bourbons. Whiskey Ace, good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, so definitely more oak on this. Now this is bottled in bond, so it's at least 4 years, but I don't know if they age the small batch longer than that. If anyone knows, you can let me know. I'm not sure on that. Wow, Steve Ace found Elijah Craig Barrel Proof under 60, 65. Good for you. Yeah, Jason, I'm with you. I mean, it's not far behind. You're right. It's not. And honestly, it depends on the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof batch, too. Because there's been a couple batches I just wasn't a fan of. Like, a couple of them were very, very heavily oaked. And too much oak for me, I'm not a fan of. It's just too much for me. I can deal with a good amount of sweetness as long as it's not grainy, but too much oak, it just kind of... It doesn't work with my palate too well. That's got some nice burn, actually. Boy, small batch is good. Definitely more oak, at least in the neck pour. Definitely, at least in the neck pour, a lot more of that oak. Steve A says no such thing. He loves a ton of oak. Yeah, see, some do. Some do. I'm just not. I'm not a fan of too much. Richie Z said, Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof. One I have actually not had. I've literally stood there in front of the bottle. It's available everywhere here, so I can get it. It's just I've stood there and I didn't get it. Originally, when I was first getting into bourbon, I just bought a normal Jack Daniel's single barrel. If I'd known better what I was getting myself into now, I would have got the barrel proof without question. It's not even that much of a price difference, really. $10 maybe. Dustin says EH has more oak than Eagle Rare. This bottle for sure. The last bottle I had, though, it didn't, which was crazy. It was so sweet. So sweet. All right, we'll see you later, Jason. Thanks for stopping in. But yes, definitely more oak here. It's just where it's aged. It must be aged higher in the rick house and gets in and out of that wood more. Really solid though. Really solid though. Really 9 to 11 years on the EH Taylor, even the small batch, huh? I could see it. I could see it for sure. That explains more oak. I'm shocked then that last bottle I had was so under oaked. Yeah, I've never ever in my life seen an EH Taylor barrel proof. Honestly, that's one of my personal bottles that's kind of a unicorn for me. That's a bottle I've always wanted to get. $60 is the new $50. Yeah, you're right. Captain, make it happen. Welcome in. Good to see you. William, thank you. Yeah, shout out to 60 in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming over and hanging out. I know it's getting late, but thank you all for being here. It means a lot to me. Yeah, I'm with you, Jason. He says the JD Barrel Proof is amazing for Jack, but nowhere near the other players in the barrel proof bourbon game. Yes. Now, what about the Heritage Barrel, though? Talk to me about the Heritage Barrel for a second, because I had one of my wonderful patrons find a bottle for me. Christopher David, thank you so much. And and I was able to get that bottle. I cannot wait to try it. I've not opened it up yet. Steve, you're right. It's a Friday. You're right. Time zones, though, that can be tough. Matt says Heritage is solid. Compared to the barrel proof, though? What are your thoughts on that compared to the barrel proof? I mean, the proof alone is different, right? So it's going to be different, but... Ooh, Captain Make It Happen says he's starting with a little Hancock single barrel. Very nice. Back to what, Mash Bill 2? Good choice. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Matt. I'm the same way. I'm definitely a proof guy, so that'll be that's a good another good idea for an episode. The Jack Daniel expressions, the higher end ones, single barrel rye, barrel proof, and the Heritage barrel. I like it. I'm sure I don't have to tell any of you in here, but if you can find E.H. Taylor Small Batch, get it. Price on this bottle is cheaper than Blanton's. It was 40, I think 49 was state minimum on this one for me. It's a no-brainer. It's really a no-brainer. Seth Phelps, welcome in. He says his most expensive bourbon is a $48 Michter's American. Yeah. Michter's American is a very interesting whiskey. The whole reason I bought the bottle was because of the Whiskey Tribe. They were so high on that bottle, and they talk about it all the time. And it's solid, but it's just a butterscotch bomb. A butterscotch bomb. Richie, I'd be happy to. I've been saying I don't do uncorkings as much anymore just because the bottles change so much after a couple weeks when I let it get some air. But yeah, I'm fine doing that. I'd like to do. Someone gave me an idea the other day to do like maybe a rapid review or a quick review of either an uncorking or opposite, and then come back to the bottle after a couple weeks or a couple months or whatever it is, and do a re-review if I ever do an uncorking on a bottle at least. So, and that's a really good idea just to see how they change and how they open up. I like that idea a lot. Yeah, Michter's American, again, very interesting. It's pure butterscotch to me. And actually that works well in cocktails though, because it's got a nice sweetness, very unique sweetness. ADHD Fishing, thank you so much for coming in. I know you gotta get off tomorrow, but we'll see you. Have a good night. Thanks for coming. Good stuff, guys. All right, proof's going up. Proof is going up, and we're moving to another mash bill. Good old Weller. Weller Antique 107. My personal favorite of the big three Wellers, the Special Reserve and the Weller 12-year. A lot of people love that 12-year. And sure, if you can get it at retail, you'll never get it at retail. Don't even bother. And even the 107, I mean, at least here you won't. But now we're into wheated. So this is the wheated mash bill. Wheat being the second most dominant grain behind corn. Completely different level of sweetness. I mean, it's a different type of sweetness. All right, Dustin, take care. Thanks for coming in. Oh, I missed that. You're waiting in line for barrel proof tomorrow? Come on. Good for you, bud. Good for you. I'll be praying for you. Oh, yeah. Matt Bailey, who thinks the full proof will beat the old Weller Antique if you get one? Yeah. The full proof is interesting. Very interesting bottle. I can't wait to see when the first person gets that bottle and secondary hits what the price is going to be. It was the same with the CYPB. That thing was just 350, 400 bucks on secondary. It was just ridiculous. Jason Lewis, how's the 107 compared to the Special Reserve? To me, it's on a completely different level. So the Special Reserve is solid. It's 90 proof. It's easy drinking. Theoretically, I've heard even it's actually the same juice. It's just proof down, you know. But it's very, very kind of buttery, smooth. Still get the wheated mash bill notes, which is like a baked wheated bread. Guy Davis says he started at 100 proof. Now he's up to 115, back down to 94. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll fall out of the chair. Yeah. You got to be careful with that. Kenneth, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm a big wheater fan, personally. And I have not tried the older Pappy Expression, so I can't speak to that. But as far as the Weller line, like even the Weller 12 and even the Weller Special Reserve, they're solid. Extremely hard to find is the problem, though. So good. So good. So, it's the caramel note you get in bourbon, but it's like it's a different type of richness caramely note. It's just like, the wheated mash bill really gives it an extra layer of sweetness. It's really good. Dan Trout says full proof is about 500 to 600 secondary. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. I mean, you put anything at full proof, it's going to be more anyway, but 500 to 600. Yeah, auction that first thing off, see what happens. You won't see me bidding on it. Not for that. Oof. So anyone who's had the Weller 12 year and the Weller 107, what is your favorite between the two? And don't just say the 12 because of price, because of how expensive it is. I think the proof makes all the difference. First three are all 107. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think the proof really just adds that extra layer of deliciousness. It really does. Chad says he prefers the 12. Yeah, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with the 12. It does have an extra layer of, I guess, complexity, if you will, but the 90 proof... I told myself I was going to do this, but I'm going to go grab my Weller 12 here. Look at that. She's a big boy. She's a big boy. Now, I know what you're wondering. Oh my gosh, this must have cost him $300 to get this bottle. Nope. You see that little scratch right there on the label? That thing saved me about 200 bucks. 165 on secondary. I got this for 165. Now, still, that's way overpriced. Let me just say that right now for a handle. Way overpriced. But compared to now, ridiculous. I'm going to do side by side here. Has to be done. It's not a 1 liter. It's a 1.75. Uh, 1.75 liter. I gotta cover my face, otherwise this thing doesn't work. 1.75. Matt, get out of here. You're not allowed in my chat anymore. I swear. This isn't allowed. 1.75 was $42 at his store. I don't want to hear that. You can't get it. No. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. When this bottle's gone, I'm coming to you. You're sending me one. All right. 12 year. 107. It is. Chad, I'm with you. Definitely more sting. The age definitely does tame some of those, I guess, harsher notes as you described, you know? Matt, I don't... Get out of here. Get right out of here. I mean, the Weller 12's not bad. It hurts me to see people bidding on these bottles secondary for those prices. Yeah, 12 years, 45%. That's correct. It's really easy to drink. It tastes like it's got a little more oak. It's just amplified. The 107's amplified to me. Yeah, Pete, I don't have it, but I'll do the poor man's pappy if you want. I can do that. If you bust yours out, I'll do the poor man's pappy. Now, tell me in chat, guys, what is the poor man's pappy again? 60-40, right? But is it 60-12 year or 60-107? The nose just smells so much better on the 107, though. It does. Let's look at them. They're honestly about the same level right now. A little bit more of the 12-year, I'd say. All right. I don't know that I've ever made this, actually. Poor man's pappy. Now, I've had a pour of the Old Rip 10 when I was down in Kentucky. Yep. 60-107, 40-12. Okay. Let me add a little bit more of the 107 then. Because I was a little bit high on the 40, or on the 12 year. Couple more drops. Yeah, that'd be good. Close enough. Close enough, yeah. You gotta get it right, right? You gotta get it right. So I remember the Old Rip 10 had a very... It was very mellow. And it was very smooth. Now proof is a little bit higher on the Old Rip 10, right? Remind me. It's pretty close. Pretty close to what I remember. Yeah, I remember the nose had that. It does. It sips like an 80. Oh, yeah, 107. That's what I thought, 107. Matt, you're a bad influence. You're just saying that. You're trying to get me hammered. Old Weller... You want a killer blend? Old Weller Antique, E.H. Taylor, 1920, equal parts. Come on. 107 on Old Rip, yep. And the nose had that where it didn't smell like 107 at all. No. I mean, theoretically, with the proof, with mixing the two together, the proof's going to be down to around 100, 98-ish. Kenneth, thanks for coming in. Have a good night. Thank you so much for watching. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna have to experiment with this more. Pappy with 1 part Eagle Rare. You guys. 50% Weller Antique, 50% E.H. Taylor. God, you guys are terrible. Terrible. I'll do a blend at the end with everything. We'll see how the Buffalo Trace blend goes. This is good, though. This is good. I'd say it's better than either one on its own. So, if for no other reason than having them both in the house to make blends with them, solid for sure. It's really good. All right. Let's go into our last one. Keep this big boy over here. Stagg Jr, one of my personal favorites. Now this is batch 9. Let me get the bottle here. Which is pretty hot. Pretty hot. Come on. 131.9, 65.95%. Come on. Unfiltered. Nice looking bottle. Stagg Jr. batch 9. I also have 2 other Stagg batches. One I found locally, one I got on secondary. The one I got only a couple months back, so it's pretty new, whatever the newer batch is. I've heard, though, from other people, batch 9 is one of the better batches from all of them. So I think this is the only batch I've had. I'm not sure. I may have tried one down in Kentucky as well, but so almost 132 proof on this. Very, very hot. Very hot. Jason Lewis says he just busted out his Weller Special Reserve. Needs some air in the bottle to become enjoyable. Agreed. I'm with you. Batch 11 is... I think that's the one I have, Steve. 63.95. This is 64.75. The 129.5. And my other one's on the counter. I'll look later. Whew. That's different. That's different than the 107. It's a nice burn. Nice burn. So always get a nice heavy oak note. A little bit of a chocolate note in this always as well. Again, being barrel proof, it just amplifies all those bourbon flavors you want. Unfiltered, so you know what the mouthfeel is going to be. Mouthfeel. Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, the burn on the tongue is just completely different than every other whiskey we've had tonight, which is great. You want that burn. The 129 is batch 8. Okay. I'm going to have to look what my other one is. It's hard to find a bad Stagg Jr. batch, though. At least from, again, I've only had maybe 1, maybe 2 batches. My other bottles aren't open yet, so. Ooh, D&D asks, would you pay $100 for Stagg? Stagg Jr. I would not. The one bottle I got at retail, which is around 60, 65. And actually, that's the price I got my other 2 bottles as well. So, not too bad, really. But it depends on the person you ask. So, a lot of people would pay $100 for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, too, you know? And Stagg Jr.'s same type of bourbon. I mean, it's different flavor profile, but same type of bourbon, high proof, unfiltered barrel proof. I would do, personally, me personally, would be $65 max at the moment. If it was a batch I knew I really liked, I may go up to 70, but I really wouldn't go more than 70 on it. And I'm looking at chat now. Most people are saying the same thing. 65, 70, yeah. I mean, regular Stagg is 99 retail. It'd be very difficult to find, you know, but that is retail on it. Second sip, though, almost no burn. Went down smooth. Finish is still going. That's very nice. Really, really nice. I mean, you guys can see Buffalo Trace has some really, really good offerings. Really good offerings. There's a reason they're one of the most successful distilleries in the entire world. Oh, it's good. My rule of thumb is 115 or higher. Let's add some water to it. So let's add some water to it. Thinking 3 or 4 drops. See if that opens it up a little bit. $115 seems to be just the right proof for it. It's the same bourbon, just kind of brought down a level. More oak, and this happens a lot with things I try and I add water to. The oak seems to come out more. Richie Z, I've been planning that for a while. Barrel proof shootout. I want to, and I've got the means to do it now too. So it's gonna happen. It's just gonna be a matter of when I can do it. If I film normal reviews, I can do multiple of them. Film multiple of them. If I do like a barrel proof flight, I'm pretty much one and done. So I'm gonna have to. I'll have to schedule it on a day when I got nothing going on. That's great, DJ. 55 on the shelf. Get that all day. Oh, Dan, you got the hazmat, George T. Stagg. Oh man, that's a once in a lifetime. Another one that's like once in a lifetime. You want to try that. 141.4. That is just craziness. But now that this has opened up a little more, there's actually more sweetness coming out on this. And how the oak's kind of fading away a little bit. Still really nice on the palate, though. Caramel, vanilla, burnt oak, heavy burnt oak. A 144 Stagg. What year was that? Ooh-wee. I don't think so. All right, let's we're over time here, so let's go ahead and do a blend. We'll add everything together. Let's see. Benchmark is gone. Buffalo Trace, pretty much gone. Eagle Rare, got a little bit of Eagle Rare left. E.H. Taylor, only a couple drops. Blanton's has got a little bit, though. And then our poor man's Pappy. Get that little wheat in our life. And now we got a pretty respectable pour there. John. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I won't drink the whole thing. Okay. So actually the wheated comes through the most. Definitely that baked bread note. Probably, you know, I had pretty much the most left. That and the Stagg I had the most left with. So. Wow. That's actually really good. Really good. Proof is probably between 90 and 100, I bet. Like, it tastes pretty low, honestly. Even though it's got higher proof stuff in it, but it tastes low. Otherwise, that wheated just smooths it right out. But that actually tastes really nice. Really nice. That's good stuff. My favorite part about finishing a Buffalo Trace product is the smell you get in the glass after. If any of you have ever taken a tour at a distillery, like especially one of the big distilleries, it literally just, it smells like their rick house. It just brings you back. Brings you back to the tour, the smells, everything. You walk in there, all that whiskey in the barrel. It smells so good. So good. I could live in that thing. Matt, add a little 1920. Oh, God, you're such a bad influence. My bottle's sealed still. I mean, all right. Just a little, though. Just a little. Hang on. Okay, put it. Oh, here it is. Took far longer than it should have. Okay. $60 bottle. That stupid camera, I swear. I mean, Matt, it's not like I wasn't going to open it eventually, honestly, so. Good news, though, guys. We get 2 cork pops this episode. Woo! That's another nice one, though. Honestly, first thing that came to my mind when I smelled that was dill pickles. Dill pickles. Why is that? I gotta try it on its own, too. Dill pickles? $50 for the 1920. Nice guy. Very nice. Oh, I gotta add some to my infinity glass, too. Oh, that cork pop. Woo! Alright. You guys are a bad influence, you know that? You're gonna get me in trouble. Alright, let's see. This is the regular 1920. It is a neck pour again. There it is. There's the nose. Chocolate covered cherries. Wood, oak. Just the perfect amount of sting. There's actually a little dill note in this for some reason, or that's what I'm picking up. Alex Julian, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I know, Matt. That's for some reason. For some reason, that's what I got. It's going away now. Maybe it's whatever was left over in this glass. The combination did it, but it's Old Forester. I mean, it's got the Old Forester profile. Oh, that smells so good. Even first pour out of the bottle is just so good. So good. I don't know. I mean, that could, depending on the day and what I'm in the mood for, that could push Elijah Craig Barrel Proof to me. It really could. Whiskey A says 1920 bottle finally opened up. It started a little wonky. Yeah. Maybe, maybe that's what that initial nose was or whatever, but even just opening up for a minute there, it got better, so. Whew. So there's a lot more sting on the nostrils in the Infinity sample now. I was talking about how smooth it was now with the 1920 in there. Whew. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, you add 1920 to something, it's going to be good. It's not like it's going to make it worse, right? That's good. It added a nice, more proof. It added more proof, which is nice for me. And then it added a nice, like, chocolatey note almost, too. You guys are talking about this? Baby says. I don't know what will happen if I add it to friends yet, honestly, Matt. I don't have any friends yet to tell you. I'm sorry. I don't. But yeah, Baby Saz is very solid too. I've always said Baby Saz is a rye I prefer to drink straight if I wanted to drink a rye straight. But I prefer like Rittenhouse or even what is it? Old Overholt. Old Overholt Bottled and Bond is a very, very good cocktail mixer. Both those are good options, but definitely the Baby Saz is best for if you want to drink it straight. I think it's got a nice sweetness layer. Patrick Fulmer says Saz in an old fashioned is nice. I mean, it's a rye, so yeah, it's going to be good either way, I'm sure. So. Yeah. Anybody who's not already a part of my Discord, please do consider joining. We have a great time. Pretty much all day, every day, we just talk whiskey. Talk about new things coming out, plans for the channel, things that are going on with me specifically too. It's my Discord, so if someone could put a link in there for my Discord, that'd be great. If you can't do it, I can see if I can do it real quick too. But all you gotta do, guys, is click the link and join Discord. It's awesome, a great community. I mean, you guys know already the whiskey community is awesome. We have a great time just hanging out, chatting. I'll probably be hanging out in there for a while afterwards, actually. So sometimes we get on voice chat, sometimes we just talk back and forth in chat. So we'll see. But Steve, let me see if I can toss a link in then. You should just be a moderator. I don't know why you're not, but I don't know how to do that, I guess. So, hang on a second. Let me try this. There you go. Try that one. See if that works. Oh, we got a couple of people in already, so yeah, it must be working. Awesome. Yeah, we'll do a hangout after party for a little while. I'm down for a little while. I got some leftover whiskey, so awesome night tonight, guys. Buffalo Trace night was fun. I mean, there's more stuff we could have done. Buffalo Trace has what, 15, 20 products? Like, come on. We could have been drinking way more, but this was good. We learned a little bit about each product. We even brought in Old Reliable, and did that. And the Weller 12, stuff I was not planning on. So thank you guys so much for hanging out Friday. Again, I know I'm later than normal. With Bill going on, I wanted to go on after him at least. So thank you for hanging out this long. I know we went over again, but if you guys are interested in a challenge coin, let me know. Either email me, bourbinsane@gmail.com, or Instagram. Either way. I got 100 coins, so I've got several left. Let me show these to you guys one more time, because I love these things. That's the front there. And then my logo on the back. A lot of the higher numbers I still have left, so I don't know if this thing's ever going to focus. It's just terrible, but they're great. I mean, they work great as whiskey hats and challenge coins if you collect them. So, Chad, thank you. I will check that right after I'm done here. So, I appreciate y'all hanging out. If you haven't already, jump into Discord. We'll hang out some more for a little after party. Have a great night, guys. Stay insane.